Most children understand the meaning of numbers that are in the first house, the ones, tens, and hundreds. In fact, they can give you fairly reasonable examples. 1 sister, 10 dogs, 100 pennies, and a dollar. Eventually, most children will also understand the place value in the thousands house, where they could give you a reasonable understanding of something that would be 1,000, 10,000, and 100,000. But it starts to get a little fuzzy in the millions house. The billions house is really out of reach for most children, and by the time we get on to other houses going forward, it's pretty much just numbers on a page. Children may wonder why scientists bother to talk to each other using scientific notation. They might say, what are they talking about? Well, perhaps they're discussing distances from Earth to a distant planet, or maybe a distant solar system. Maybe they're talking about the number of cells in an animal's body. The number that I have on the board right now represents the national debt in the United States as of December of 2017. 20 trillion. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of zeros. We would have 20 with a comma. Here's our billions family. We need 3 zeros for that. We need 3 zeros for the millions house. We need 3 more zeros for the thousands house, and 3 more zeros for the first house. 20 trillion. Wow, that's a lot of zeros. In fact, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 zeros in this. 2 is in 10 to the 13th column. We would say in scientific notation, we would say it like this. This is a lot easier for scientists to understand than all those zeros, especially if the person writing all those zeros is kind of sloppy and might miss a zero or make 1 zero look like 2 zeros or crowd them together or something. So scientists like to talk to each other not with all these zeros, which can be confusing, but in scientific notation. So 2 times 10 to the 13th power is easier for a scientist to understand. You might say, wow, numbers don't even stop here. They keep on going farther and farther because we didn't even use these 2 columns, 10 to the 14th and 10 to the 15th. This chart goes to infinity in this direction to the right, but to the left, there are more columns, more and more and more columns, but those numbers get smaller and smaller. And I'll explain that to you in another video.